You'll have to trek through crowded walkways, go through dingy alleys and jump over open sewers to get to this estate. This is the epitome of how years of rejection and neglect can look like on an estate that is more than 73 years old.
Yes, estate yetu is no longer an estate. Ni kama slum. Manake hata vile umetembea na wewe umeona.
Utapata hii ni sewage na badala yake iwe space. Pesa imepeanwa kwa hiyo ofisi, vibanda zimejengwa juu ya masiwage. Mahali ambapo hapastahili. Jambo ambalo sisi wagaji sewage ikifunja huwa tunaathirika zaidi.
Like now, we have situations which we don't have control. As you can see this space.
This is a mess.
Okay, it's a mess, but as you can see this space, these are the 2 bathrooms. We have 8 doors down, 8 doors up, 16 doors in total. These are 2 bathrooms. We use 4 doors, 1 bathroom. But the drainage system is poor because, as you can see, that is a hotel and it is operational.
Just meters from a sewer line.
What really happened to this estate, which was among the most prestigious African settlement areas in colonial Kenya?
Hizi nyumba zilikuwa smart sana. Hata ndani ya estate tulikuwa na round, tulikuwa na lami, na tulikuwa na nyasi, na green. Tulikuwa na wafanyakazi wa city council wakati huo. Walikuwa wanachukua takataka na waya. Karatasi hizi kuanguka chini.
Who is to blame for the modern day mess that has become characteristic here?
Sasa hiyo kanjo hawakushughulika. Ikabidi niende nichukue mahali loan jumii nafanya biashara ndogo ndogo, nichukue loan mahali, nirekebishe nyumba, nirudi. Sasa unarudi, unanunua kwanza mattress na sufuria, uanze kupika na kulala hapo chini.
And can this estate really stand the test of time, or could it be time's up for Gorofani estate? Had you lived in Gorofani estate in the 1950s as an African, then you would have been the talk of town. But now, the estate has been reduced to a shell of its former self. The Gorofani of the 21st century is a far cry from an area that was well reserved for African clerks, drivers and secretaries working for the Nairobi City Council during the colonial days. The estate itself was built by African laborers for African tenants. Gorofani Estate was among the first estates in Nairobi's Eastlands area and was considered posh at the time. The estate was constructed around the year 1945. The colonial government then coming up with single-room dwelling units for the growing African population. The estate would comprise of 57 housing blocks, each containing 16 single units, 8 on the upper floor and 8 on the ground floor. Maurice Otunga's father was among the first tenants in the estate. He worked as an environment inspector for the Nairobi City Council.
Hizi nyumba zilikuwa smart sana. Hata ndani ya estate tulikuwa na round, tulikuwa na lami, na tulikuwa na nyasi, na green. Tulikuwa na wafanyakazi wa City Council wakati huo. Walikuwa wanachukua takataka na waya. Karatasi hizi kuanguka chini. Wanatoa na wanachoma na waya wanatoa. Wangeweza kutupa takataka nje ama mahali popote.
But now things are a lot different in Gorofani estate. Gone are the days when the City Council cared about cleanliness. When 61-year-old Maurice Otunga's father moved here in 1948, he thought his family had hit the jackpot. At the time, most African dwellings comprised of mud housing with grass-thatched roofs.
Nakumbuka vizuri sana wakati hizi nyumba zilikuwa zinakaa, zilikuwa zimekoteshwa, tulikuwa na grupu 3. Tulikuwa na grupu ya City Council yenyewe, staff, tukawa na PAT, tukawa na watu wa company ya power. ndio walikuwa nakaa hizi nyumba za company.
Gorofani acquired its name based on the fact that during the time of its construction, there were no other single-story buildings in the entire area. The estate took up a lot of the Asian design, but for African dwelling, which comprised of each block having 2 washrooms and 2 bathrooms, serving 16 households. If you take a walk through the nearly 10 acres of land covering the estate, you'd not be blamed for thinking you are going through a market of some sorts. Gorofani Estate's main sewerage and drainage systems have long broken down, and since the Nairobi City County stopped maintaining the estate years ago, residents, many of whom live on approximately $1 a day, have had to dig much deeper into their own pockets to fix the problem.
But as you can see this space, these are the 2 bathrooms. We have 8 doors down, 8 doors up, 16 doors in total. These are 2 bathrooms. We use 4 doors, 1 bathroom. But the drainage system is poor because, as you can see, that is a hotel and it is operational.
Just meters from a sewer line.
Leave these meters from a sewer line. Immediately at the entrance of our hotel is a sewage. And at the moment it's blue. So we had to hire somebody to come and remove it. Then we've not completed the work because we had no money to do it. We have to contribute among the residents so that we can get the money to unblock.
The estate, designed as a low-cost housing settlement scheme, charges 1,100 shillings per month for the single-unit dwellings, funds that are remitted to the Nairobi City County government coffers. But if you ask long-time resident Mary Adhiambo what irritates her most about living in Gorofani,
this is the main entrance, this is the sewage, and there is no exit in the hotel.
Then she's most likely to mention the uncontrolled development and lack of planning in the emergence of makeshift structures in the area.
This is block 23 and this is our main entrance. We don't have exit.
This one?
This is the entrance and it's the exit.
Into the houses?
Into the houses.
As narrow as it is?
As narrow as it is, this is our main entrance and the main exit. But initially, before the fire broke down, this was a field and
it was open.
It was very open and we had a very big gate here that we used to open. But after the 2015 fire broke out, it was grabbed.
The fire she's referring to occurred in June 3 years ago, raising down nearly the entire estate. The cause of the blaze was attributed to an electric fault, even though an official investigation to the matter has never been made public.
So government cannot help us. As much as we complained, we had nobody to defend us, so we were helpless.
So let me ask you, when fire breaks out, which and it has in the past, how then do you move your property out if this is the only entrance and exit?
Actually, we don't consider property, we consider life. Because you go for property, there's no way you will exit with the property. You just have to take your kids, yourself, and leave the place, leave your property to burn. That's how we operate.
It's a daytime nightmare that has haunted the residents here for years, causing loss of life, damage to property, and tension between residents and business operators within the estate that Area Code will be focusing on after the break.
Kumeweza kukua na hizo friction between the tenants and the traders. Lakini sasa ni vile unakuta kwamba imekuja polepole paka soko ikapata wa tenants.
Nyumba zimejengewa, hatuna space ya kuingia. Dirisha kufungua imekuwa ni shida. Migodani zimejaa kwa barabara, kila mahali hakuna space ya kupitia magari. Kwa hivyo sisi wakati tunapata changamoto sana.
In a week we can produce 1.2 billion, including the wholesalers and retailers.
In a week?
In a week.
Hii ni mali ya kanzo. Na sisi ambao tuko kwa hizo manyumba, sisi ndio original ya kuonyesha hiyo ni estate, sio soko. Kwa nini mnanyanyasa sisi na wafanyabiashara, mnaweka wanakuwa na wanatawala sisi? Sasa ikawa wakaachwa kuwa na uwezo kwa sababu au kuwa pamoja hiki kitu kifanyika.